Jeff Jarrett took 0 bumps. The Wyatt Six took 0 bumps. Joe Henry barely did anything last week. Jacob Fatu had about 2.5 minutes to get over, and he did. There's something to that. All you needed to know about Jacob Fatu happened at the end of SmackDown. You don't need the whole background of him in that moment. You just need to pay attention and watch him wreck Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and put Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, through a table. That is how you get people to sit up and pay attention. That is how you get people to go, who the fuck is Jacob Fatu? He just took out everybody. He just took out Cody. He stood tall. By the way, he looked unreal. Like, he has lost weight. He's always been agile, but he is like the best mix of that Samoan family in terms of his size, in terms of his agility, his speed, his look, his intensity, and they waited on him. And that's the impact he made. And right there, it took the bloodline up a level. Very short period of time, though. Yes, him jumping off the top rope hurt, but his stuff was quick. It was impactful. We're talking about it because of how he was portrayed, how he was presented. Right away, you go, that guy's legit. He took out Kevin Owens and Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Holy hell. Now you want to go find out about him. And we'll see how WWE follows up on that, how much they want to tell you. Is there an air of mystery to him, though, that you want to keep up? Do you want to keep his presentation in terms of how he acts and the physicality and the brutality that he shows? Do you want to keep that to what he's now going to do going forward? Because all of a sudden, the bloodline looked a lot better, and they're mixing it up with big-time people, and they're being booked dominantly. I think there was a course correction there. So when you look at that, you go, okay, there's another guy. Man, they made those minutes work. And then one more. We are talking about Jeff Jarrett in an unbelievably positive and sentimental way because of the video package, the very emotional and real video package that man right there was featured in on Collision. There's a longer version on YouTube about why it means so much to him to be in the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. I think Jeff revealed this at some way, shape, or form at some point in time. Jeff and Owen were extremely close to the point that, and I'm going to say this because I think it's out there. I've been to Jeff's house years ago. There is a special tribute to Owen in his house. And I believe Jeff has shown it before in pictures. One of his first podcast, I think it's his second podcast of My World, The Owen Story, is well worth your time. Find some time to watch it. Listen to it, watch it on their YouTube or whatever. And I'm giving a recommendation to somebody else because it is that good. Jeff Jarrett is a old school perfect heel. Always has been. You can say what you want about how he was pushing WCW or didn't draw a dime or all the stuff he did in TNA, and it's not all perfect. I know that. I don't know if many people get the wrestling business better than Jeff Jarrett. And I still think he's one of the best workers in AEW, and I wouldn't mind seeing him on TV every week because I think he's that good. Tom Green put out a great short about him recently on his page. And that promo that Jeff cuts is so real and so engaging, and people were kind of going, not only do I get why he's in it now, I want him to win. And think about that. You win the Owen, you're main eventing Wembley for the world title. People want Jeff Jarrett at 56 years old, at this point of his career, on his 17th life in wrestling, to win the tournament. Tim, I agree with you. Jarrett is 20 times better than Jarrett. Speaking about people who get it and people who don't. People want Jeff Jarrett to win that tournament. A guy who's been nothing but a heel in his entire AEW run, who comes out with a faction, who comes out with his pretty wife and his giant and his manager, who's annoying, and his, tag partner in Jay Lethal. It's a mid-card act, but it's a mid-card act that gets the most out of their minutes, and Jeff won't miss. I'm never going to tell you Jeff is a 10 every time, but he ain't a 4 very often. And Jeff Jarrett's in that tournament now. And I've spoken about how I think that tournament already got a boost from announcing that the winner, while prestigious enough knowing the Owen name, the third year of this tournament, the winner is going to get a title match at Wimbledon. Big enough right there. 8 names in that tournament right there. And anybody who's in that tournament has a shot to be the main event of one of the biggest shows that AEW is ever going to do. And Bryan Danielson cut that promo talking about this being his last shot and it might be my final shot. And right there I was like, okay, every one of his matches now matter. And then I thought they dropped the ball a little bit because we heard from Pac But we haven't heard from everybody entered in the tournament. Like we heard from Pac and we didn't hear from Claudio. You kind of knew how that match is going to go. Danielson and Shingo Takagi is going to be a hell of a match at Forbidden Door, and I can't wait for it. And we're going to see Jeff Jarrett against the wild card. And I think a lot of people, myself included, initially were like, without hearing the Jeff story, I'll be Hangman. It's nice that Jeff's in the tournament. Okay, cool. And they could have been simple and just left it at that. Nice that Jeff's in. There's a connection there, and they didn't. And now all of a sudden, you have 3 stories. You have the idea of main eventing Wembley for the World Championship. You have Bryan Danielson realizing that this could be it. This could be my last chance to get to the World Championship in AEW, a championship I have not been able to win yet. And now you have Jeff Jarrett fighting for his friend. You have Jeff Jarrett being the most babyface he's ever been because it's a real story. And I know there's still an element of pro wrestling to that, but it's a real story that we're talking about. And I think one other thing I will tell you is that look how many AEW talent posted that story, posted that video, told people to go watch it. Not in storyline. Look how many people in AEW, talent-wise, made a point to post that. That tells you a lot. That tells you that a lot of people were proud of what was put out there. And you don't see that very often, putting other people over in that way. But that's how you tell a story. And we're talking about Jeff Jarrett. And how many bumps did Jeff Jarrett take? Jeff Jarrett took 0 bumps. The Wyatt 6 took 0 bumps. Joe Henry barely did anything last week. Jacob Fatu had about 2.5 minutes to get over, and he did. There's something to that. If you tell the story the right way, if you get people to sit up and watch, this last week is such a great example of matches not being everything. It's a part of the storytelling, but it's not all of it. The bumps, the moves. You want that to be there. You want variety in your wrestling. But everybody I talked about got over because of this right here, because they touched this, because they made you think. We're talking about all these people because they captured you. And I think that's very telling that 4 very different stories got over in that way. How they follow up is a different conversation altogether. Hey, this is Matt Camp. Thanks for checking out one of our recent clips from the Wrestling Mat. Why is someone so close to The Rock kind of throwing Cody under the bus?
Yeah, a lot of people won't engage with Jim Cornette. I did, just because I have a mark for Jim Cornette. And
Please subscribe right now. Hit the like and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I think you should listen to your TV partners. Let me tell you about WWE and a little insight. More subscribers means more content. And make sure you follow us on social media at WrestlingMat23 on both Twitter and Instagram.